Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host as usual, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute, Fortifeye Vitamins, and I've been hosting Ask the Doctor for over 31 years. Remember, this is a live call-in show. Feel free to take advantage of the consultation. It is free. It never replaces a medical evaluation or eye examination. And the phone number, write this down. This is a live call-in show. It's 813-282-8283. It's 813-282-8283. And once again, who's Dr. Lange? I'm a board-certified optometric physician and a certified nutritional specialist with degrees in psychology and physiological optics as well. And I've been hosting Ask the Doctor since April of 1993. I hail from the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. See patients there along with Dr. Somerton and Dr. Caputi. And I am the formulator and lead investigator and owner of the Fortifeye Vitamin Company. You can learn more about the Fortifeye Vitamin Company. These are vitamins that are fully transparent, backed by lots of good clinical science, developed to help you, the patient, the consumer, the listener, the viewer, slow down that dreaded aging process in our body and our eyes. Remember, God made a pretty good body. I always say, as long as we give it the right fuel. And the problem is the right fuel just doesn't exist oftentimes over the counter at the local stores. So once again, phone numbers are 1-813-282-8283. We're broadcasting from Salem Media. This is right after Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And it's kind of like the good old days in the studios today. I'm here with Roger P Schulman and my good friend Scuba Scott. And I'm going to talk to them right now and see what kind of holiday season they had. First of all, Roger Schulman is no newbie to talk radio. Roger and I used to host a show, 15 years ago on another station. It was a daily talk show called Ask the Doctor. And then he hosted the big show right after that. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning, Doctor. It's good to be here. It's like old times.
It really is. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was wonderful. Family, friends, over your house, of course, for the first course. And you made that wonderful, very tasty and moist chicken. You got some secret that...
Turkey.
Yes, it was turkey. Yes, turkey. Anyway, you have some turkey secrets that we'll have to pry out of you one day because that was an exceptionally good bird.
We did. We actually removed the backbone. A famous chef from New Orleans told me you got to remove the backbone before putting the turkey, and then you crack the breastbone, and then it flattens out the turkey so it's not sitting up, and it's easier to get to the meat. It cooked really good, and we basted it with butter and all sorts of seasonings. It was pretty good, I have to admit. We had a nice little crowd. Everybody but Scuba Scott was there.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sorry. Hey, Scoobs, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Was your Thanksgiving good?
It was.
Yeah, we missed you, but I'm glad you were with family and had a good time.
I did. Thank you.
All right, you're looking good.
Thank you.
Your diet's going well, I can see.
It is.
Outstanding. We'll talk about diet in a minute. Remember, everybody, it's time to get on the proverbial bandwagon now and start practicing the good nutritional habits before the New Year's resolution. That way you get warmed up, right? We always say that one of the best things you can do for your health, one of the best things you can do for your health, the health of your eyes, the health of your body, the health of your mind, is weight management. So getting down to your ideal body weight is crucial. And as far as your eyes go, it definitely will help that, because if you're overweight, you're more prone to developing all diseases in the eye. That's macular degeneration, glaucoma, dry eye, cataracts, all of these things if you're overweight. So once again, think about weight management. All right. I'm going to give you the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins. You can call it on Saturdays even if you want to order any of the supplements. We have a lot of specials going on right now. And I always recommend going to the bundle section on Fortifeye.com. The The bundle section has some great specials. Matter of fact, there's 30% off the vegan protein right now, 30% off the vegan super protein. If you order, it's automatically in there. We've got the holiday wellness bundle. The holiday wellness bundle is the Fortifeye Complete, the Fortifeye Focus, the Omega Max, and the Rejuvenate, all in a dramatically discount bundle. And then we have the vegan super wellness bundle for those of you out there that don't want to consume a whey protein and want to get the Rejuvenate. The vegan super wellness bundle is the vegan super protein, the Rejuvenate, and our organic blue-green superfood, all into one bundle. Matter of fact, we had this morning for breakfast, Roger came over to the house. What did you think of that breakfast we had?
It was excellent. It tasted very good. And you had the vegan super protein in there, didn't you? It was
We did.
it was delicious. And a lot of those proteins that you get at the store are horrible. This is not. This just tasted like an excellent smoothie.
Well, especially the vegan proteins are all made in foreign countries. We have one of the only vegan proteins that is actually made in North America. The pea protein is sprouted pea protein isolate made in Canada. And our barley protein is sprouted ancient grain barley made here in America. And we add velocitol to it, which actually doubles the power of the amino acids. That's called amylopectin and chromium. And it's giving the vegan protein, which I'm holding up now in front of everybody in this bag. The vegan super protein has 21 grams of protein. And if you look at the amino acid profile of the bag, it's very similar to whey. And some of the essential amino acids are actually higher than whey protein. So now we have an option to whey protein. And quite frankly, whey protein is going up in value where it's almost not affordable to people. And we're going to talk about affordable food here in a minute. And the whey protein keeps going up because there's a big shortage. And that shortage and that high price on whey is going to last until probably April of 2025. We've got plenty of the vanilla super protein, which is a New Zealand grass-fed protein. Because before the shortage, I bought, 7, 8, 10 pallets. So we got plenty of that vanilla whey protein that's grass-fed from New Zealand. Our whey protein isolate in the bag and our chocolate whey protein probably is going to run low before April. But therefore, you can substitute with the vegan protein and chocolate, vanilla, or salted caramel mocha. And once again, very low calories. We're talking 120 calories, 21 grams of protein, and a PDCAAS score of 1, just like whey. And it's delicious. Like Roger said, it's very tasty. This morning, we took pineapple juice. We took pineapples, organic pineapples, because of the bromelain. This is a proteolytic enzyme that helps break down the protein. And we took some goat yogurt, all right, because goat yogurt has a non-genetically mutated beta-casein protein called A2 beta-casein, so it doesn't disrupt the microbiome. It doesn't enhance your risk of leaky gut and all sorts of other health problems. And so goat's milk and A2 cow's milk or dairy is the way I recommend. Otherwise, stay away from dairy. So we had the yogurt, the goat yogurt. We had the pineapple juice, a little spring water, the vegan super protein, and a banana. And we blended it all first before we put the super protein. We blended it in. Then we put the super protein and just blended it for about 3 seconds. You don't want to blend the protein powder for a long period of time because that can denature it and break down all the health benefits and the digestibility.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
The things you learn here from Ask the Doctor.
Yes.
Doctor. I think you're healthier because of it, Roger.
Well, I've been on your vitamins for about, how long have I known you right now? 15 years. I switched over from another company and the difference was remarkable. I have a lot more vigor than I used to from that and have been pretty healthy for a 78-year-old man.
Oh, you're going strong. I mean, a lot of times you're my workout partner in the gym and you're pushing some pretty heavy weight, Roger. You really are. And you're much stronger than you were just a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm up from 10 to 20 pounds. I got to say something about Dr. Lange here. He lifts more weight than a man of 25. You lift automobile size weights in that place. And I lift the 20-pound weights. I got a vision question for you, doctor.
Right.
I've heard something about something radically new with macular degeneration, a rather nasty disease of the eyes, that something can be done about it now that couldn't be before.
Yes, you have. And this is going to be very popular. As a matter of fact, we got a few people on hold. Just stay on hold just for a minute. We got to talk about this because this is really exciting, breaking news. And you heard it first here on Ask the Doctor. We started talking about it a few months ago. And now it's FDA approved. So this is an exciting form of light therapy, believe it or not, Roger. And it is the Valeda Light therapy. It's made by a company called Lumathera, and the Valeda Light therapy is what we call photobiomodulation therapy, and it is FDA approved now for dry macular degeneration, and it might be FDA approved soon for geographic atrophy, another form of macular degeneration. And it's using a series of 3 lights, 3 different wavelengths. So a wavelength of 590, 660, and 850. So red light and yellow light, and the other light, I don't know what color it is. But these wave lights have some benefits because they increase nitric oxide synthesis, which causes vasodilation and improves circulation to the retina. And it also inhibits what we call VEGF expression. VEGF stands for vascular endothelial growth factor. It means, in theory, it's supposed to help stop these irregular blood vessels from breaking down and leaking profusely. And that's what wet macular degeneration is. So who knows if this won't be a treatment for wet macular degeneration one day. Certainly not FDA approved for that yet. It also promotes O2 or oxygen binding, and it drives electron transfer and increases the mitochondrial energy production. It lowers inflammation. It does a lot of amazing stuff. And this is called Valeda Light Therapy. It's photobiomodulation therapy. We're geared up for it at the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages. We'll probably be one of the first group of doctors that are doing this in the country. I've already talked with the company, and we have actually taken over another 6,000 square feet or close to that at the Lange Eye Institute, where the dentist used to be. We're taking over her space downstairs, and we're going to have another 12 treatment rooms, examination rooms, therapy rooms. And this is where we're going to be doing this light therapy for macular degeneration once the technology is available for us to purchase. Now, it does have a code approved by the FDA. However, for the first year or two, they're not going to be paying for it. So usually when something new comes out, it's cash out of pocket, and then Medicare approves it. Oh, it's already approved by Medicare, and then Medicare starts to pay. So we don't know what the price is going to be. You can't really put a price on helping people with macular degeneration. Just think about this, Roger. If we have some technology that's non-invasive, it's not a laser that destroys, it's not an injection that, nobody wants a shot in their eye unless they absolutely have to have it, all right? Because a shot isn't without inherent risks. So something that has very minimal risks, that's a light that only takes 5 to 10 minutes, you have to do a series of treatments that has been shown to improve visual acuity and reduce the signs of macular degeneration, dry macular degeneration. I don't know what that's worth. I mean, is it $1,000 for all the treatments? Is it $500 for all the treatments? Is it $3,000 for all the treatments? I don't know what kind of price they're going to come up with. But regardless of whatever the price is, we're going to be doing this at the Lange Eye Institute. I think it's going to be a destination. We'll have a package together where we include a specific diet and your supplements and blue blocking lenses and things like that, along with the treatment. So we're real excited about this. I think this is going to be the biggest news to hit the eye care industry in a long time, if ever.
That sounds pretty impressive. The previous treatments were more invasive, weren't they?
Well, absolutely, especially for wet macular degeneration. We haven't really had a treatment for dry macular degeneration except for, lifestyle changes, dietary changes, supplements like the Advanced Retina Formula by Fortifeye, the Macular Defense, Next Gen Macular Defense. These are vitamins that actually give the nutrition the retina thirst for to hopefully help slow down the macular degeneration process. They're not treatments and they're certainly not cures, but this light therapy will be a legitimate treatment that is backed by clinical studies that show that it actually works. And I think when you combine this new form of light treatment for macular degeneration with the appropriate diet, lifestyle changes, the right supplements, I think it's going to kind of be the triple whammy to help, reduce the chance of these patients going from dry macular to a more visually devastating wet macular degeneration. So some exciting times.
Sounds like it. Now, you started your vitamins, the Fortifeye vitamins, because people had problems with their eyes, and you thought that the vitamins would help. And then you kind of got into the whole body, because the whole body is attached to the eyes. So that was an interesting path.
Right, it really was. And, I'm a firm believer, if we get the body in better shape, the eyes follow, and vice versa. And we saw so many patients that were taking our Fortifeye macular defense vitamins. We saw their overall health improving. We saw their blood chemistries improving, symptoms of things like arthritis and lack of energy improving. And that's when we kind of parlayed it into a, whole body supplement company targeting everything, digestive health, joint health, skin health, sports nutrition, things of this nature. So now we have literally a supplement that targets, all arenas of life. And I always say, like I said, the right fuel is so important. And it starts with diet, not supplements. Remember, supplements are simply supplements to your diet. And there's a lot of people out there that are on fixed incomes. The first thing you need to do is buy the right foods before you buy the right supplements. And we're going to expand on that in just a few minutes. But we're getting ready to go to call. First thing, here's the phone number. If you got a question, give us a call, 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. If you're watching, I'm wearing a Bolts Lightning shirt. We're heading to the Lightning game. That's ice hockey at the big arena. Tammy, myself, and my daughter Mackenzie's in town from college, and we're going to enjoy that this evening. We got to get out there a little bit early, but it should be fun. All right, let's go to the phones. Steve's been waiting patiently. Steve, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yes, if I may suggest, if you're trying to get approval for this and get payment for it, what I would suggest is when you go to the government or you speak with the government, don't think of it in terms of how much it will cost the government to pay for it. Think of it in terms of how much it will save the government to take care of.
Good point.
Good
point.
You follow what I'm saying? In other words, put it in their interest.
Well, because you bring up a valid point, because remember, when the dry form of macular degeneration goes to the wet form, once again, this is the more visually devastating.
Right.
These patients need these injections. They're anti-VEGF injections, whether it's Avastin, Eylea, Lucentis, or some of the other drugs. These drugs, number one, are not without inherent risks. Number two, they're quite expensive. I mean, last time I saw the bill for this was about $3,500 to $3,700. Medicare is paying for these injections. So if we could have something that is non-invasive, that's safe, that will decrease the chance of you having these injections, wow. I mean, it should be the FDA or the Medicare should be pretty happy about paying for it. I mean, only time will tell.
Well, FDA is changing too. We've got some new administration people coming in, and I think that may be a little more receptive to ideas that actually work.
Exactly. And it's not just Robert Kennedy. Even if he doesn't get approved, he'll be there. So I think that it's a perfect time. And also, I would keep, when you first go into this, using this on people, I would keep very good statistics. Who did well, whether males or females, different age brackets. Keep really good statistics on it, because you're the pioneer in all this. I think that'd be interesting.
I think it's going to be exciting for every doctor that's involved in this new form of light therapy. So there won't be that many initially. So like I said, some exciting times, especially for all of those of you that are listening that have the dry form of macular degeneration. We do complete shows about what to do for dry macular degeneration. Remember, it's a nutritionally responsive disease, not a curable disease, but it is a nutritionally responsive disease. And so things like weight management, proper diet, the Lange survival diet, or the paleo diet, the Mediterranean diet, a modified form of the ketogenic diet, not the carnivore diet, okay? Now, a modified form of the carnivore diet would be good. Now we're talking more like a ketogenic diet or a Lange survival diet. Also, exercise is important because it improves circulation, helps you lose that weight. Sunglasses and blue filtering lenses. So the whole host of things that people can do to be proactive to help, promote wellness in the retina and the entire body.
Yeah. Well, I thought about something very interesting this week. You know how they say blue light is very hard on the retina?
Yep.
Okay. Do you remember a book written by Whitley Strieber called Communion?
Nope, I can't say I do.
Well, anyway, the picture of it is, he said that these people that said they were abducted, that the aliens had jet black eyes. Jet black. I mean, they were totally black, no opening, no pupils or anything. When I looked at the stars from the star system that they were supposed to come from in the Pleiades, they are blue light shifted spectrum stars, which mean they'd have to have jet black eyes to filter all hundreds of times more blue light than we get on Earth.
Well, maybe these aliens are always high and they're on ecstasy or something that dilates their pupils, and if they're really dilated, the pupils are going to be black, right?
I guess so.
Oh, Steve.
Okay.
It's
I'll
interesting.
let you go.
All right, Steve. Thanks for the call, my friend.
Well, it's always nice to hear from Steve the genius. He's a remarkable gentleman, as we have our
He's always got some
sunglasses
interesting comments for sure. You
Yeah.
know, the question is, I ponder all the time about the whole alien thing. I mean, you think about it. I mean, it's got to be other life in the solar system and the galaxies.
Absolutely.
We can't be the only ones. All right, we're getting loaded up. If you got a question, give us a call, 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. I'm here with Roger P Schulman, a famous newscaster from the Tampa Bay area, and Scuba Scott of Soaring Drones. Soaring drones. All right, Soaring drones. All right, let's go to the phones. I think Abe in Seminole has been waiting and probably laughing a little bit. Abe, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I have a question well, first off, I heard you mention that you should not take the probiotics and digestive together. You should do one before the other. Is that correct?
The digestive enzymes and the probiotics?
Yeah. I thought you said something. You should take the probiotics in the morning and then take the digestive.
I mean, it probably doesn't matter that much, but if you're really anal about it, if I can say that over the radio, like me, then I would say you take the probiotics as close to an empty stomach as you can. All right. And the reason for that is if you start eating food, it stimulates the gastric juices, the hydrochloric acid, and then you get this acid going on to break down the foods, but it can ultimately break down some of the probiotics. Now, we have acid-stable probiotics, but still, who knows? Maybe they didn't put the acid-stable probiotics. You just never know, right? So that's why I recommend first thing in the morning or at bedtime. And then the enzymes take 5 minutes or even 10 minutes before any cooked meal. If you're going to have a salad, you don't need to take any enzymes. But before Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner, take an enzyme, and that's going to help you break down the carbohydrates, the fats, and the proteins, especially if you're over 40 years of age.
Yeah, I'm 72. I'm getting close to Roger P. Schulman.
Yeah, you sound good for 72.
He does sound good.
Yeah. Can I ask Roger a question? Roger, you say sparkling Clearwater all the time. Is that from Chick Smith? Sparkling downtown Clearwater. Is that where you get that from, sir?
Yeah, I think that was the slogan of Clearwater for many, many years. And then they changed it to beach to bay, bright and beautiful. That became their slogan. I kind of make fun of that. I kind of like sparkling. And sometimes I'll say, if I'm doing the temperatures, it's 47 in the cigar city of Tampa, in the city of green benches in St. Pete, which is not their slogan. They call it the Sunshine City of St. Pete, and sparkling Clearwater. I'm not going to do that beach to bay. Beautiful thing.
Well, I know. When Chick Smith was in downtown Clearwater, he used to say sparkling downtown Clearwater. I just thought maybe that's where it came from. So you're saying no.
It may have, but the funny thing is, I remember Chick Smith Ford. He sounded like this on the radio. He was a castrated chicken, I think. But anyway, he was, I think he moved to Texas or something, but he sponsored a radio station that I worked for. And every time we had to give the time, it's 9:31, Chick Smith Ford time. It was such a pain to do that. Yeah. But I remember that. He was right downtown Clearwater.
Yeah, Dr. Lange, I take multiples of your products and the protein mix and everything else, and your stuff is just absolutely wonderful. Never have any ill side effects at all. My wife's taking them too, so I really appreciate it. God bless both of you, okay?
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for the positive input. We appreciate it, Abe.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Speaking of that, I'm holding in my hands 2 of the fish oil pills, the omega-3 pills, and I often go to a restaurant or something and have these with meals, and people say, "Oh, I used to take fish oil. It was horrible." And I said, "Well, I did too, and it was horrible. It came from China, and it smelled awful. This isn't like that at all. It has no awful smell. It doesn't make you want to regurgitate." Tell me, doctor, about how you developed the omega-3 and where it comes from and why it isn't hideous like some of these other products.
That's Fortifeye Super Omega. I developed that about 15, 16 years ago, maybe longer now. And we refined it many times. And the Super Omega comes from fish, mostly sardines. We can't claim 100% sardines. These are non-predatory fish. But when you're catching all these fish, every now and then some mackerel will pop in there or something else. So we can't say it's 100%. So on the label, it says from, mackerel, sardines, herring, anchovies, but it's 99% sardines.
And it's not from China.
It's not developed in China at all. As a matter of fact, believe it or not, we catch these right north of Antarctica. All right.
Really?
That's where the most pristine waters are. And then we catch the fish there, we squeeze the oil, and then it's sent to Norway. Oslo, Norway is the mecca of omega-3 fish oil refining. It's kind of like what the Bordeaux region is to wine. Oslo, Norway is to the fish oil industry. And they were the first to create reesterified triglyceride molecule omega-3s. And these are where they take the ethanol out of the distillation process. People don't realize that the lion's share of all omega-3 they buy over the counter in the United States is an ethyl ester molecule. That means there's ethanol attached to the backbone. They use the ethanol in the distillation process to concentrate and purify it, but then they leave the ethanol in it. So that ethanol, who knows long term, has to go through your liver every day to cleave the ethanol off and replace a triglyceride backbone so it can absorb. That's very inefficient. Takes a long time, but also it makes the molecule very unstable. That's why people burp up a nasty fish taste. That's why these are enteric coated. If you look at a fish oil like yours, it should be very clear, all right? Yellow and clear, not cloudy. If it's cloudy, that means it's either gone rancid or it's an enteric coated cloudy capsule, so it doesn't dissolve in your stomach, so you don't get that nasty burp back. It dissolves in your small intestine.
Very clear, yes.
Right. And so you want to look for a reesterified triglyceride form omega-3. Anytime you buy omega-3, make sure it says RTG form or TG form. That's triglyceride form, either or. RTG form or TG form, basically the same thing. That means that it goes straight into your, absorbs straight into your bloodstream. It doesn't pass through your liver every day, doesn't have to cleave off ethanol, isn't unstable, doesn't go rancid very quickly. And we've done studies back in the day. I don't know if you were involved in the study, but a lot of people were involved in some omega index blood studies. And we proved that 2 a day of the Fortifeye Super Omega, this is before we developed the Super Omega Max, which is 50% more potent, that 2 a day, as long as you weighed less than 240 pounds, everybody in the study, and this was hundreds of people, their omega index went to over 9.2% to 11%. And the heart healthy zone is 8% or higher. The average American is about 1.5% to 2% if they're lucky. And so one of the simplest things you can do for promoting wellness and anti-aging and good for your health of your eyes and your entire body, including your heart and your brain, is either A, eating fish quite frequently, good quality fish, which is hard to find, or taking a good omega-3 fish oil that's the reesterified triglyceride form. And certainly Fortifeye Super Omega, I'm a little bit biased. We triple distill it so it's pure. The other problem with many fish oils, they got lots of contaminants in them. If you look at our COA, we have no contaminants, virtually none. If you look at our COA and look at heavy metals and things, it's 0.0000159 or whatever. And not too long ago, a company here in America wanted us to make our Fortifeye Super Omega, and they claimed they were getting the omega-3s from Alaska, which is probably a good source. And they were giving me a much better deal. I mean, a much better deal. So I said, wow, maybe I'll start to make some money now, make a little profit, because we don't mark these up much. But then when I got the COA, I looked at the, the potential contaminants and compared it to ours, and it was nowhere near as pure and as pristine. And if I take it, and my kids take it, my family takes it, my patients take it, Scuba Scott takes it, you take it. I want it to be as pure and pristine as possible. As a physician, we want to do no harm, only health benefits. So that's Fortifeye Super Omega. And you guys can go to a website called healthbenefitsofomega3.com, healthbenefitsofomega3.com, and learn about the latest studies promoting overall health from consuming omega-3 and eating more fish. There's legitimate science. The jury is not out on this. They're always constantly trying to say how supplements are bad for you, but all of the studies have shown that the right form and the right ratio of omega-3 is beneficial. Now, a lot of you that are up on your science and up on your studies will say, oh, wow, omega-3 fish oil causes atrial fibrillation. Well, that was a study that came out, and they were looking at super high dosages, mostly prescription fish oil. That's the ethyl ester molecule, the one with the ethanol in it, at high levels that we would never recommend, usually for hypertriglyceridemia and things. And yes, these people triglycerides came down, but it did increase their risk of atrial fibrillation. So remember, there's a fine line. More is not better. And once again, none is bad and too much is bad. And that goes with everything, including vitamin D and curcumin and all supplements. And that's why you have to listen to people that are certified nutritional specialists or doctors that are in tune with nutrition so they can keep you within the realm of perfection. All right. Like I said, more is not better. By the same token, too little is bad as well. So how's that answer?
That was a very good answer. A very complete answer. I've been taking this stuff since I first met you, and I had some problems with my right shoulder from some Army activities and some large dogs that I've walked in the past 15 years, just jerking on their collars and pulling on the arm, and it would aggravate that. And since I started taking the Super Omega-3 and the Omega-3 before that, that pretty much went away. It does seem to make the joints feel better.
Right. And we have many patients that DOMS and ROMS, that's delayed onset muscle soreness and range of motion, improve dramatically when they start taking the Fortifeye Super Omega and the Fortifeye Super Omega Max if you're really heavy and weigh over 240 pounds. So check it out at fortifeye.com. That's Fortifeye, fortifeye.com, or you can call toll free 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. We also have some specials on the Fortifeye Super Omega. I think you buy 2 to 3. We have it bundled together, and you can see that on the website where you buy a few more bundled together and you get a big discount. Also, for those of you that want to hear about our deals first, any of the Fortifeye deals, you want to hear about the latest in nutritional intervention, you want to have any release of the new products first, any special flash sales that sometimes we only run for 10 to 12 hours, then subscribe to our newsletter. Go to fortifeye.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, and there's a section of newsletter there. Just hit subscribe. And all you got to do is put your email in there. That's it. Nothing else. No phone number, no address, just your email. And then we will send you our newsletters. We'll send you any breaking news like the Valeda Light therapy news. We'll send you any sales that we got going on, any flash sales. So we run these all the time, when you can just have a 10-hour window and you'll get, 30, 40, sometimes 50% off depending on my mood. So subscribe to our newsletter. Also, it's a good idea to go to my Instagram site. I've got a lot of social media. Be very careful. Yesterday, we were looking at Facebook, and we found 650 fake Dr. Michael Lange Facebook pages. So the main thing is go to Instagram and go to my Instagram site that has a blue check next to it, and that's Dr. Michael Lange _. A lot of you are watching me on it right now. Dr. Michael Lange _. That's the only legitimate Instagram page. All the rest of them are fake. And then Fortifeye Vitamins on Instagram is legitimate too. So be careful. I hate to say it. There's a lot of people scamming women, especially using my images and using my name. Remember, I will never ask you for money ever. I will never ask you to sign up for some sort of philanthropic organization where you have to give money. If anybody's doing that, if anybody thinks they're dating me online. It is not me. It's a fake. And most of these are coming out of Nigeria. So just be careful of this. The FBI has been involved 4 times now. Anytime I think somebody scammed over $20,000, the FBI gets involved. They've interviewed me 4 times now. It's crazy times.
So you don't ask lonely women for money.
I don't ask lonely women. Divorced or
that's
widowed
good.
women, those are the ones they usually target. So be very careful, okay? All right, phone lines are open. If you got a question, give us a call. I'm here with Roger P Schulman, local Tampa Bay news celebrity, Scuba Scott, and myself, of course, Dr. Michael Lange, hosting Ask the Doctor this morning after Thanksgiving. And the phone number is 813-282-8283. Any question regarding your vision, eye care, a nutritionally related topic, heck, a news topic today, give us a call, 813-282-8283. Also, like I said, remember, eat healthy and be healthy, all right? And I try to preach this with everybody I hang out with. Eat healthy, be healthy. Let food be your medicine, okay? Let food be your medicine. I know it's very difficult. Many of you are on fixed incomes. It's hard to eat healthy. That's not the case. It's just not so. You don't have to eat expensive organic food all the time. However, the dirty dozen, all right? The dirty dozen, if you're going to eat it, it's got to be organic, or just don't eat it. These are foods that are super high in pesticides. And the latest 2024 data on the dirty dozen is, you can write this down. I'm going to go pretty quickly, but you can always Google it. The dirty dozen fruits and vegetables that you can eat, they're very good for you, but don't eat them unless they're organically grown, are strawberries, spinach, kale, collard greens and mustard greens, that's under 1, grapes, peaches, pears, nectarines, apples, bell peppers and hot peppers, cherries, blueberries, and green beans. So foods that I eat all the time, make sure those are organically grown. And remember, never eat carrots and sweet potatoes with spinach or kale, because the carrots and sweet potatoes are high in beta carotene, and it'll block the absorption of the lutein that is in the dark green leafy vegetables. And also, never eat pears, apples, and bananas, things that you cut and then actually they call it turned brown after 10 minutes. That's got polyphenol oxidase in it. Never eat these with berries that contain flavonoids, because it blocks the absorption of those as well. Now, we're going to the Clean 15 before we take the next call. As a matter of fact, Dr. John Poser, famous plastic surgeon, is on hold, but he's going to hold for another minute. The Clean 15, you can eat these all day long, and they do not have to be organic. As a matter of fact, don't waste your money. Don't buy organic. Save your money. Avocados, sweet corn, pineapple, onions, papaya, sweet peas, asparagus, honeydew melon, kiwi, cabbage, watermelon, mushrooms, mangoes, sweet potatoes, and carrots. So those do not have to be organically raised.
How about bananas?
Bananas do not have to be organically grown, because they have a thick sheath.
Yes.
And they're also grown way off the ground, and they don't really spray a lot of pesticides on banana trees. So bananas are a power food, very high in potassium, which all of us need for dry eye and also for heart rhythms. So, and that's why we put the banana with the pineapple in the shake this morning, because the pineapple has the bromelain, which is a proteolytic enzyme that breaks down the protein. And the banana helps our dry eye and helps our heart, so it beats regularly when we're working out. All right. So remember, you got to eat the foods. If you can't afford vitamin supplements, do not waste your money on them. You got to buy the foods first. Now, supplements like the Fortifeye line of supplements, these are evidence-based supplements that are used in conjunction with your food, By the way, the new superfood comes out very soon. We're adding beta glucans to the new superfood, and we're adding a mixture called Peak O2, which is a higher concentration of the mushroom blend. We also have a time-released vitamin C coming out, perfect timing for flu season. And remember to check out all the bundles at Fortifeye.com, because you get a great deal. The percent discount is amazing. All right, we're going to go back to the phones. I think we got Dr. Poser on hold. Dr. Poser from Gainesville, Florida. Good morning.
Hey, Dr. Mike, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving to you and Roger and Scoob and your wife Tammy and your daughter and everybody else that was there at your house. You had over 100 people, I heard.
we had a big crowd. Yeah, we missed you. Maybe next Thanksgiving you can come on over. But you were hanging out with your family too.
Yeah, it was great with my daughter and my granddaughter and my son. We had a great time. But food and football, you can't beat that.
No,
By the
you
way,
can't.
how did Tulane do?
Tulane lost to Memphis. Wow. It was a good game. We watched part of it. We all went out to the movies. We actually watched part of the football game at the movie theater before the movie started. We watched Gladiator 2. I haven't been to a movie since prior to the pandemic. So it was fun to get out with the gang and watch the Gladiator 2. It was a good movie.
You're kind of like the Gladiator 2 with all the vitamins you take, right, Mike?
That's right. They talked a lot about barbarians in that. And after that, we came home and all of us ate a turkey leg.
Well, one of the reasons I called in, I'm on your show occasionally, and I heard you talk about I think it's Uplift.
Upneek. Upneek. The eye drop that you put in that helps the eyelids go up non-surgically, and it does help some people.
Well, that's the reason I called, because I asked you where you kept that, because I was going to maybe come in and take it out. But anyway, what I was going to do is just simply, give an update between, the medical part of, uplifting the eyelid for vision and surgery. Obviously, they both help, but there's a certain clinical degree where, the uplift, whatever it's called, doesn't work as well as surgery. It relies on the Mueller muscle, which is the autonomic sympathetic muscle that, when you're awake, it stays stimulated and holds your eyelid up. But as you get a little older and a little more tired, it tends to droop a bit. And I'm sure the upneek, works on that, increasing the autonomic power, sympathetic power of the eyelid. But there's other reasons it can drop down. One is senile detachment of the muscle to the little cartilage that goes into the eyelid itself. That has to be surgically repaired, especially if it goes below the pupil. The other thing is, the eyelid skin can get very heavy, along with the fat underneath, which absorbs fluid, just like a swollen ankle, and eventually weighs down your eyelid and gets fatigues the Mueller muscle and the orbicularis muscle. So you have to actually de-weight it and maybe take the fat out of the upper eyelid to decrease the swelling in the upper eyelid itself. And one thing people do forget too, but it's not just the eyelid. It's called ptosis. Ptosis means drooping, and as you age, gravity causes this ptosis, especially forehead and eyelids too. So your lateral eyelid also contributes to obstruction, and also allows the eyelid to kind of droop into itself. If you actually pull up your lateral eyelid, you can see your eyebrow. You can see your eyelid go up too.
Right.
So sometimes you need both, not just eyelid, but you also need the eyebrow lifted up too, which helps your vision laterally, which is important because when you drive, your lateral vision is very important for not getting in an accident. So I'd recommend someplace you go, insurance will only pay for one, the brow lift or the eyelid, but not both. But if you have a little extra money, they say eyelid and insurance, you pay a little extra to get the eyebrow pulled up too at the same time, and you get a better result.
Right. And it's really not that expensive. And John, Dr. Posey, you bring up a valid point. I deal with patients all day long that have dry macular degeneration, even wet macular degeneration, but they still have legal driving vision. Okay. So they still have better than 20/70 vision in both eyes, but they have what we call dermatochalasis, blepharochalasis, bilateral ptosis. As you know, your lids are coming down into your line of sight. So these people benefit more than the average person, because you think about it, their visual acuity is already decreased to the point of almost not having legal driving vision. And then you have this hooding, this coming down over their line of sight. So their superior peripheral vision is gone. So now they're driving around with essentially just a little bit of lower left and lower right vision. And so this could make people much safer on the highway, especially people that are vision impaired, correct?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think it's a very important point because, as you get older, your neck gets a little stiffer. You can't quite turn as much. And, obviously your vision goes down. And you have blind spots in your mirror that you can miss a car coming if you can't turn around and look at it. So I think one of the most important things is your eyelid, just because, people drive so much now, and especially if you go on I-75 or any kind of super highway with, 20,000 ton trucks, right next to you. You got to be careful. The other thing I was going to mention too is that when you do get the folding of the eyelids and sweat, you get bacteria, and you get little mites in the eyelashes and stuff, and the skin's right on the eyelashes, and it also can lead to dry eye because you have chronic inflammation, and your eyelid or your lacrimal glands are trying to produce fluid to clear it out, but eventually it just gets thick and mucky, and your eye gets dried out. So maybe you might want to mention that, because that's a very common thing, and
you got me convinced. You got me convinced, doctor. How long and what's the recovery time on those procedures if somebody wants to go up there and pay you a visit?
I mean, I hate to tell the secret, but it's kind of like removing a mole. I mean, it's so easy that I should make it sound like it's harder, but it isn't. So you just simply, numb up the eyelid under local. If someone wants to valve, you can do that. You just take an elliptical part of the eyelid skin and the muscle underneath, and you open a little fascial area that the fat stays under. You trim out the fat, regulate any bleeding, and then you simply sew it together like a belt stitch. You put it through the skin from medial to lateral, and when you want to take, there's no real stitch, and when you want to take the stitch out, you pull it out like a belt. So in reality, in about 3 days, you're almost fully recovered, and you can pull out the little belt stitch and carry on. Just wear some sunglasses for a couple of days, and you're fine.
John, when you mentioned about some of the elderly people, how their neck gets very stiff and they really depend on their peripheral vision, that brings up, makes me think about racing cars, because most of I race cars, and we all wear a Hans device when we race. And the Hans device, along with the seat that we sit in, keeps you from turning your head left to right. So you have to use your peripheral vision, and it's very difficult. I mean, so I can imagine now what people that have arthritic necks feel like. It's like wearing a Hans device in the race car, where you depend on that peripheral vision. So, we might get a lot of race car drivers coming in to see you for blepharoplasty, because, man, we got to open up that peripheral vision better. So what's your phone number if anybody was interested in having eyelid surgery, Dr. Poser?
That's area code 352-372-3672. And that covers Gainesville and Ocala. I'm also in the Villages too, down there with Michael, a secondary office. But the number I gave will cover all the offices if you want to make an appointment. As I mentioned, they can be done under local. I don't take insurance because I don't. It's too easy for me to do under local, and I don't have to go through the hassle of going to a hospital and be put to sleep for something that's like removing a mole. So that's the convenience of doing under local.
Dr. Poser, thank you very much for calling in. We're going to have you as a guest for the full show again in the near future, but we're going to have to get off the air, okay?
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. And the phone number, once again, I'm going to give it so that's Dr. John Poser, Poser Plastics, Gainesville, Ocala, and the Villages. And his Ocala office is located right on 3101 Southwest College Road, that's State Road 200, right next door to the Lange Nutrition Center, upstairs in the old Lange Eye Care building. Anyway, the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins is 866-503-9746. I'll give it to you one more time, 866-503-9746. If you want to see me or Dr. Summerton or Dr. Caputi at the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida, I'm going to give you the phone number for the Lange Eye Institute. That's 352-753-4014. One more time, Lange Eye Institute is 352-753-4014. Remember, check all the bundled pricing out at Fortifeye.com. That's Fortifeye, Fortifeye.com. And remember the bundle specials that we have, 30% off the vegan super protein, the holiday wellness bundle, and the vegan super wellness bundle. Roger, that hour went by quick, didn't it?
It certainly did, Doctor.
We didn't have time to cover all of our stuff.
No, we didn't.
We'll have to do it again real soon.
Next week.
All right. Go Bolts. Go Lightning Bolts. I will be there. If you see me, come say hello at the at the game tonight. With that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctor. I'm Dr. Michael Lange. Have a great day. God bless you, and God bless America. See ya.